Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to another Wicker Biscuit.
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, welcome indeed. All right, let's start this off by finding out what biscuit buddies I have here in the studio. Let's do some introductions. Who do we got?
You got Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
This is Carl.
Oh, hello, Carl. It's been a bit.
It has been.
Oh, I've
Good to
missed
be back.
you.
It looks like a good batch, fresh, ready to go tonight.
Damn right. Only the finest for you, man.
Yeah.
And then who else do we got?
Lisa.
Yay, Lisa. Lisa's a giggle puss tonight.
It's because you both were like flirting.
That's just every day.
Oh,
with
I know.
us. And then on Zoom, we've got
Courtney.
Hey, Courtney.
Sorry, do you want us to flirt with you too?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it'd be great when like two people are flirting, but neither of them actually understand that each of them is
They're
flirting.
flirting. Yeah.
So like my everyday life.
That was pretty okay. Just so you know, that was pretty much me and Amanda when we first started dating. She like had no clue. She just flirting wasn't a. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it worked. I mean, it worked. Obviously, I mean,
The chase is fun, so it just makes sense.
it was fun. But I mean, like even the very first night I walked her to her place, I was like waiting for her to like come, just like lean a little bit out of the doorway to be like, oh, a hug or something, and she didn't, and I didn't know what to do, so I just shook her hand. It was awkward as fuck. And
You have a kid now, so it's okay.
yeah,
It worked out.
And then later,
I'd like to think that Gary shook her hand after the coital intercourse.
yeah.
It is funny to think about like all the different types of dates or dating
Mm-hmm.
you've been on.
Yeah.
You know, like formal, informal, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people? This is what I think is funny. People like who are single and like play in the field ask me for advice, and I'm like, I haven't been single since 2002, right?
Right.
But I have advice.
Yeah.
I know what I see.
I had somebody ask me once about like Tinder or like, how do you use that? I'm like, how the fuck would I know? I've been married since 2006.
It's cute. Ryan and I think we used to do we'd go out for dinner. We'd be like, are we dressing up a bit or are we just, now we just go?
Yeah.
We dress up sometimes.
I guess.
We could, because like sometimes like you just go out because you need to eat, and sometimes you go out because you're on a date night. And, like,
Yeah.
It's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even if you
were
do the
looking
same
for a
thing.
fancy reason for the hoop skirt.
Yeah. Exactly.
Listeners, before we started the episode, I was talking about one time when Carl's like card information got compromised and someone had apparently ordered stuff, but they didn't change the address. So when it came to our house, we're like, what did we order? I don't remember. And I opened it up and it was like a little like the bottom, like the underneath that you'd put on to wear a hoop skirt, like a little
yeah.
Bo Peep kind of thing.
Very nice.
And I'm like, I'm keeping that.
I love
I can use that for costumes.
The thought of like some badass criminal buying that is hilarious to me.
Yeah. Like in the fact that
It
my
feels
credit
like you should be able to pinpoint the person based on, or
Well-
just like off of what they ordered. Obviously, they're either like a debutante
Yeah.
or I don't know.
Considering my bank had already reimbursed me, I think it was even funnier because I'm like, so now I just have random crap being sent to the house? Great.
Weirdly, that was the only thing that came.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
We cut it off pretty fast. Yeah, the bank called us like right away.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
what's great about traveling though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the banks are really good about that.
I'm always worried when I travel when I use my card that I'm like, I hope this works. Because I'm in a different state. I don't hope they don't just go, that must be fake. Like, no, it's me.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Although, just to flip that, I take a lot of comfort in like now everything is card. I think back to when I was a kid and my parents had fucking traveler's checks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if that shit was stolen, which it was once when we were at Disney World, it's a pain in the ass to get that resolved.
I bet it was Captain Hook.
Probably.
Sounds like something he would do.
Yeah.
Well, even when I was thinking about our topic tonight,
Mhm.
I don't remember like I had to have cash,
Mhm.
but
Well, you know what, Carl? I would love for you to fill the audience in on what our topic is tonight.
well, everyone, we decided to have our own little prom evening.
Yup. Prom season's coming up. We decided to do a prom episode.
And Wisconsin's so great because it's springtime.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what's great about it too is Wisconsin has so much different like small town, big town, city kind of atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely.
So prom is kind of a broad topic.
Mhm.
And what was going on, like what you do. And for me, I probably did fancier things than a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you were fancier than
ridiculous.
what we were.
actually, one of my friends said, do you feel like we were in like a late 90s movie? like we were just about to like break out into a musical or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I guess, yeah, we kind of looked like that.
Yeah. Now, we weren't from like a
No,
terribly small town, but things were definitely a little more casual here. I mean, for prom, we did wear tuxes and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I think you were less formal for your other dances.
yeah, absolutely.
Which always like struck me when I first got up here. So I'm just like, I remember being out the first time, and I was still in college, and because the kids would used to come to the mall, like for all the dances,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Mhm.
why the heck are kids coming to the mall? There's like a dance going on.
Ryan, wasn't it usually some of the kids from the smaller towns that would come into town and go to the mall?
Probably.
But then I was thinking,
Yeah.
Garfield's used to be out there, and
Yeah.
TGI Fridays, so if like you were going to dinner,
That's true.
I guess that makes sense. Plus,
Yeah.
if you're having your parents drop you off, you can spend more time together with your friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but I remember going, gosh, people are really dressed down. It's homecoming.
Mhm.
And I was like, huh? But
It was just another dance to us.
yeah.
Like, whatever.
And we had a spring formal,
Mhm.
which actually was kind of silly because it was actually more of a winter formal. And
You're going
Now
on
that I
talking
think
about how much hoity-toity
Yeah.
you guys are, but you
Yeah.
didn't even know your seasons.
yeah,
Come
I
on.
didn't even know it. But no, it was January. I was often the dumpy for a dance, or I ended up going with some random for the winter one. So yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's part of our whole evening, talking about funny dates and like how we ended up with our prom date
No,
and everything.
maybe this will come up later, so you can tell me to shush and we can cut this part. But if it's not coming up later, for you, were most of your dates male or female?
All women.
All women? Okay.
Yeah.
Carl was one of those pussies who didn't come out right.
Oh,
no,
well.
that's not true.
No,
That's not true.
Yeah, I wouldn't judge either way. Because
No,
I mean, it's way.
A lot of us
it's
go
more
through-
It's more fun if you go with a friend a lot of times.
I don't mean this literally, but a lot of us go through a bi phase where we identify as bi because that's easier
Yeah.
to tell people.
No,
Because
I
then
can
it's
see
like
that.
they can still relate to me on some level, and then when you get a little older, you're like, I'm just a big homo.
I think I've gotten to the age though where I think and I look back at that, and for me, like I just didn't have any like
Prospects?
prospects too, but for me, I didn't have like that sexual like awakening.
Do you have a gold mine like that you were
You're sitting
looking
on?
for because you
Or-
were prospecting?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of prospect.
Now, to be clear, we
No.
don't think being bi is a phase, but a lot of gay boys go through a bi phase. That's the point I was trying to make.
That's an excellent point to make, and I totally get that because as you're discovering yourself, you could be wrong the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's a journey.
So I would say limited, but also for me, it just wasn't like
Yeah.
that wasn't even on my radar. Like I wasn't thinking about guys at that point in my life.
Mhm.
And it was a lot of times for me in the fall for like the homecoming dance, it was actually that new school year and you're like, "Ooh, I'm going to date someone." And I think by winter it was, "Oh, I'm breaking up with this person." And I'm still going to the dance with two of them 2 years in a row.
Oh,
And they actually
Oh.
both left me for the same guy.
oh,
And they were sharing that guy.
And for a big small
They didn't even know that.
not that one.
Oh.
That's a different one.
Oh, never mind.
No.
I'm getting the
Found yourself in that situation not once but twice.
He was an awesome football player is what it was. And actually, you know what's even funnier? He's actually been in a long-term relationship with like one of my cousins now.
Ooh.
So there's small town stuff happens in big towns too.
God, I hope there's more stories about cousin loving.
Hey now.
I'm kidding. Kidding.
I
No
like the
stories
way they think. Arrested Development.
But yeah, I think that was all about it was about friends and like having a date and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's a
No,
good
I like
time.
that. Well, with that, perfect introduction, guys. But should we dive into some stories? So we're going to start this off with this segment where we're just going to talk about like some personal prom stories, give a little. If we've got any specific stories, go for it. But otherwise, we could just talk about what prom was like for us. Sound good? Should we get this going?
Heck yeah.
All right. Ryan, do you want to kick us off?
Oh, gosh. What do you want me to start with? I don't even know.
Well, what do you got on your list?
I didn't really make a list of that.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, let's
Well,
talk about prom.
Just tell me, well, how many proms did you go to?
One.
Okay. Tell me about that prom.
It was junior prom because our school did like junior prom. You
Yeah.
could go to prom as a senior, but that wasn't your prom. You were just there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh.
And by senior year, I was kind of burned out on a lot of people I didn't like anymore as far
Yep.
as just the whole school. So I was kind of anti-prom. So I know senior year, me and a group of friends we had like an anti-prom party and we went out to dinner and
Mm-hmm.
ate fried mushrooms, talked about how much we were having fun not at prom.
Yeah.
We saved some money.
See, that's a great story right there.
That's not a story, but yes,
it's a story, and I like it.
So junior prom. I don't remember how it all started, but my friend,
Mm-hmm.
she had just come out, but only to me. I was the only person who knew,
Okay.
and she was just like really excited about it. So when it got to be prom time, I kind of was like, "Oh, we should go together because you're adorable," and like it's kind of helping you like be in the closet, but you and I know, so it's okay.
Yeah, no,
And-
that's awesome.
For my boutonniere, she brought me a little boutonniere made out of pussy willows.
Woo!
And that was 100% like, you get it? Because I'm a lesbian.
I was gonna say, was it twofold? Was it like Serial Mom too? Is that like
No.
oh.
No.
I don't think she'd seen that, but
Oh, good call though. Great
Yeah.
reference.
but the pattern I picked for my like vest and my pocket square, I wanted the ugliest one I could get.
Oh, sure.
Now, mind you, this is a theme, and Carl's gonna whine about it. That we Wisconsin kids up here in this
Yes.
part of the state, we like to wear ugly things to
But
dances.
see, now that's trendy.
Well,
Kinda,
we started
right. Yeah.
it was all us.
Do you
Because
think
now
it
to
was-
do things ironically are like
Yeah.
cool.
Do you think for your like our age group though, was it mostly like LGBTQ? Like
Maybe. I don't think there was a purpose behind mine. I was just like, because freshman year I'd gone to homecoming like dressed like a rock star with like torn jeans and like a bunch of belts and all this like wacky stuff, because originally a group of friends and I were going to go dressed as Kiss and they all chickened out. So I'm like, well, I'm still going to dress weird. So then it kind of became like like the reputation preceded me, because like I got all 4 years in the yearbook most uniquely dressed, and like I really okay. So I don't remember where I was before the barking.
so you were picking out this green pattern.
The pocket square.
Oh right, about the ugly dressing ugly.
You were
I was right. So
most uniquely dressed 4 years in a
Yes.
row.
Yeah.
So 4 years, and technically it's not really true because it was, for whatever reason, our senior year they didn't have that as one of the things to vote on. But I got it. I would have gotten it again. And I did wear weird stuff, but it was kind of like because I thought it was fun. I wasn't like, I'm gonna try to be weird. But then it kind of was like, oh, my grandpa had this sweatshirt that was like gray and red striped, kind of like Freddy Krueger. I'm gonna wear this to school because it was just unique and weird. But so I think that was part of my. I want this. It was like a weird green gold like snake skin pattern almost. And like it looked really
Nice.
cool, and
I think the pictures probably just don't do it justice. Like
does my coconut head hair justice though.
Yeah.
So, and what I thought was hilarious is when we went to take the pictures at the prom, the photographer made such a big deal about me holding her hand in a way that would make sure we could see her nails.
Oh, sure.
Why? He's like, no, you gotta hold it like this so we can see what color her nails are painted. We're like, okay.
That's awesome.
we've realized there's not probably a lot of photographers that really know how to do like queer couple
Well,
pictures.
he didn't know that with
Wow.
us.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But we've had that at a work
Pussy
event
Willow
before.
Boutonniere didn't, you know.
The photographer's like, pussy willows, lesbian.
Pussy White.
But it's funny. That I was just saying, like,
One-
because we've had that experience together.
And the thing I hate about prom night though, because we had such a good time and like there was so much food and it was just like a blast, and I weren't really big on like let's dance together, but we did. Like there was one time it was a slow dance. We're like, let's polka, so we polka'd while everyone was slow dancing. We just had a fun time. But my dad and my stepmom had given me like a small like early digital camera.
Oh, yeah.
But it had
Mhm.
film, but it was like the digital screen, like,
Mhm.
and I took a bunch of pictures and I got a picture with my crush, and I don't know what happened. I lost my camera, so I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
ever had the pictures from prom
Right.
that we took.
Right. And that, it just so happens we went to forensics right beforehand. So, like, you and I took crazy awesome pictures
Yes.
that night before, and they were all gone. Never got them.
So then that's
Tragic.
why for like 15 years after that I only used disposable cameras. I'm like, screw it. I'm so bitter about this.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because then well, did you forget to take it out of your tux? Did you like nope? I checked all that stuff, and then it was like after everything was done, it was like, well, I don't know where my camera is.
I'm so sorry.
I bet it was a really good picture too.
Yeah.
Remember we took a picture with and like
That literally is on my list.
all right, well I'll let you tell it.
No,
then, but-
no. Go into it now because that's all I had. So I just love that it was more like both you and I remember it. But yeah,
We
it
took
was,
a picture. We like pointing at her, like, yeah, she's the coolest.
It was just fun because she was a new teacher. She was chaperoning, and she thought it was probably pretty lame and nobody would care. We took a picture, and we were genuinely excited to take a picture with her.
Well, because she was like, when you're that age, like a lot of the teachers that are younger, they're so close to your age that when they kind of hate the same stuff about high school that you still hate. So like, ugh,
Yeah.
these people are assholes, you know. But she can't say
Because
that
she was
she's a teacher.
probably like around 24 or 25.
Yeah, something like that. And so like we got along really well with her. And so it was like,
Should we find out what Carl has to say about his prom?
You know, it's
let's,
first of all,
Carl,
it's too
what
grand.
what was your prom like? I'm sure it was so much more grand than
Oh
our
my
rinky dink
gosh,
little prom.
It's ridiculous. Like,
What did the city
It's-
mouse do?
it's true. It's almost like, imagine something that you thought was so cool being almost embarrassing. You know, like,
Was this in your Milwaukee days or what?
well, so
what
yeah,
town?
so Racine, Wisconsin. Yeah, where I grew
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah, so it's just south of Milwaukee. So my prom experience is so ridiculous. They made a documentary about the Racine prom back in 2006 called The World's Best Prom.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
No,
this makes it even better.
When Carl and I started dating, one of the first things he showed me was a video because like they like the local networks covered the prom. All the schools would go through this little parade of like whatever, and Carl got interviewed about, oh yeah, I'm going up to Eau Claire for college, and he was so cute. I was like, oh, if I wasn't already dating you, I would want to date you.
But you were dating him. Even better.
That's what I just said.
No, I know. I'm just excited for you.
So
Look at that catch over there.
prom is kind of like prom itself at your high school in Racine is almost like
Like a big deal.
well, your actual high school one is kind of like a gathering spot to get
Mhm.
ready to like go to post prom, because post prom's the real party.
Jesus Christ, you had an after party.
Well,
What
yeah.
the fuck?
So this is ridiculous. Okay, so
Okay.
first of all, we have our regular prom where
Okay.
we, get to meet prom king and queen, and I thought it was really weird that we have this post prom, but we still have to come up with like this like theme for our regular prom.
Okay.
It was 2000,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting to the point where it's almost our 25th high school anniversary, and we were talking in our chat the other day. We still cannot believe that we chose Boogie Nights
Oh.
for our prom theme.
Oh my god.
And
Like
no
Dirk
one,
Diggler, Boogie
Yeah.
Nights?
no one said anything.
Maybe they didn't know.
And we were all like, we all knew. I mean, I remember going, I'm seriously ordering a glass that says Boogie Nights on it.
Some of us rented that movie because we weren't old enough to watch actual dirty movies, so we watched movies about fake dirty movies.
So after you have a DJ for like 10 songs and you get to meet the prom king and queen at the Boogie Nights, you get like line up in your motorcade. And the motorcade is like, let's have every crazy vehicle you can think of. Classic cars, like some people from choir rented, like we had one of those Racine trolleys, like with the new Chippewa trolley thing that's going around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We had one of those. People get fire trucks, all kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Okay, so we were actually, my year, we were the first high school to arrive.
Okay.
So,
One of the first times Carl was early.
so you get police escorted to downtown Racine,
Mhm.
and that's where we used to have it. So it was down at the festival hall right in Lake Michigan. So you get police escorted down there, and then it's like you're going to the Oscars because there's like a red carpet, and they are like interviewing and stuff as you go in. And Becky and I, my date, we actually got interviewed because her uncle worked for the cable company at the time.
Oh, okay.
So usually they did 3 couples from the schools.
Mhm.
And so it was usually the prom king and queen. And then I think it was usually like one of the top athlete couples.
Oh,
and then
sure.
just some
And these two schmoes.
these 2 schmucks, yeah. I think we did a good interview though.
You did. You were so cute.
Oh. But yeah, so you think about this post prom.
Mm-hmm.
Back then it was so like my high school, Horlick High School, Park High School, Case High School. Then you had St. Catherine's, the Catholic high school, the Lutheran high school, the private school called Prairie. That's like the Johnson family like setup.
Okay.
And now like as it's continued to go on, you've added Walden, who's it's a kind of artsy charter school in Racine.
Oh,
The real school, which is like a STEM
sure.
school.
Yep.
And then now out in the county, as Racine's kind of expanded, you've kind of grabbed one of the counties, so Union Grove High School. So now it's 9 high schools go to this post prom. So you can imagine all these people. And so in 1953, the Rotary Club of Racine, the founder Rotary Club, started this. So it's been going for 71 years this year. And
Wow.
they have moved it out to the Racine County Fairgrounds now, because during the COVID years, they could still do it in like the outdoors. And they just found that it was so much better to have, 1,500 people go out to a bigger space. So it's kind of cool, like, and people do the same things as they've always done, these cars and this crazy stuff. But I remember ours, my date, this is where Ryan was getting the story confused a little bit before when we were talking.
I don't get confused.
There was a guy that had a few girlfriends at the time.
Oh, God.
And there was a question about who he was going to go with. But I had come to the conclusion pretty early on that he was going to go with his primary girlfriend, if that made any
As
sense.
one does.
And
Yeah.
of course, you would go with the primary.
So
Who goes with their secondary girlfriend?
No, we were talking about, Carl had gone to dances with mostly girls.
Yeah.
Well, there was this one girl that was always kind of like my backup, but not like my backup because she was usually my primary. And then something else would happen. I'd start dating someone, whatever else. Well,
Just for my clarification, and I can
Mhm.
cut it if you want. Start dating a girl?
start dating a girl all the time, yeah.
Sorry.
So I'd be in a relationship
Yep.
then. But when Becky was like, we're going to go together, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So Becky and I have been friends since we were in kindergarten. And really, she's one of my best friends. And we had so much fun together. And it was funny because you think about all the social groups you're part of in high school or not a part of. It ended up being like a close-knit group. We were just with one other couple pretty much the whole time. And what was cool about for me was being in scouting is from all the other high schools, you could hang out with all your friends from all over town. So it was really nice. And so post-prom, they had DJ, they had food all night, they had like inflatables, they had, I think there was
Not to be confused with edibles.
they had like a foam room, I think, at one point. Like there's all this other stuff going on. It was pretty cool. But they kept you. So like, I think we got downtown at probably 6, 7 o'clock at night. And it was probably not until I think they ended up at like 6 in the morning.
Wow.
So, and the goal was, they kind of don't say it as much as they probably said it back then, but, probably makes sense if you think about when it started in 53, trying to make sure that the kids aren't like drinking and driving.
Right.
And so if you're there all night, you're not typically doing that.
Yeah.
Or canoodling.
Well, there could be canoodling, but yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things too. It's that great like teenage energy too, because I remember we left. We went to my other best friend's house, so it was just the four of us. I remember eating M&Ms at like 7:30 in the morning, and Becky and I were going to a Brewers game that day.
Oh, nice.
Because that was our prom fantasy. Like,
Hell yeah.
And so we went up to that, and that was Old County Stadium. That was last year at second to last year at County Stadium. And Brewers lost. It was 16-10. It was ridiculous. And we looked that up last year because we're like, what was that game? What about else though? Oh, dinner. Like you think about all that wonderful stuff that goes on. We went up to a restaurant in Milwaukee that was connected to the old Four Seasons.
Oh, okay.
And we had a Wisconsin delicacy. We must have had like a multi-course meal because I remember we had snapping turtle soup and
Did it bite you?
No.
Oh, good.
It was delicious. I remember we had ostrich as like an appetizer. It was ridiculous. It was one of those things
did you
that
go
was just
eat
like
in like rich people Russia in the 1700s?
apparently. But I think about that. So we somehow managed to go eat there, get back down to Racine, go to our high school. That is ridiculous.
No kidding.
And we took pictures at the Worcester Art Museum in Racine, which is like an old mansion. It's connected to the Racine Theater Guild. So there's beautiful gardens, and it's kind of great because it's one of those everyone's taking pictures kind of moments. So like you'll just randomly catch your mom or someone else's mom in the pictures when you're going through the pictures. Like, yeah, we're all formally dressed up, but no one else is.
Right. That makes sense.
But
Mom, you need to wear a better outfit to come take pictures of me.
But yeah, it was a good time. And I think that's for me too, is like the fact that all my family had gone through this and like friends have gone through this. And what I really like too is that documentary, even in 2006, they interviewed a lot of people of color. And so it was a very diverse, like where I grew up. So it wasn't just like rich kids or whatever. And then they followed them afterwards. So like they talked about
I pictured it being like, leave us alone.
no.
Where you going?
No. I know what you mean, but it was. I
Yeah.
also, in my brain, just to be fun, thought of it as a creeper thing.
Yes. They followed their stories afterwards.
Sure.
There you go.
But like in their careers, and then they interviewed them later about how the prom had an impact on their life. And I'm like, that's pretty cool.
But
I mean,
How would the prom? I mean, fill me in. What sort of how?
I think
Because like my prom, I feel like had no impact on my life. Really,
I think for us, because it wasn't just a dance,
sure.
like it was almost like the whole city was celebrating like you becoming an adult in a way.
It was like your quinceañera.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I love
But
that.
like I think
Nice.
that's what was cool about it. And like getting to celebrate with all your friends from all over town. I think there was something that was so cool about that.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, I can see that now. Thank you.
So that's what I remember the most about it. Like
Cool.
it's cool.
I
Yeah.
just
it is
can't get
cool.
over this budget.
One of my yeah.
No kidding.
One of my friends, they got a stretch limousine, and all the guys, they decided to wear black tuxes, and they all acted like the Secret Service and let the girls out of the limousine. It was ridiculous, but it's over the top and wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Damn.
Well, Lisa, would you like to tell us a lackluster story that couldn't even compare to that?
I would. So this country mouse. I went to 2 proms.
Okay.
At once?
Yes. No, actually. The first one was I was a sophomore,
Mm-hmm.
and we didn't differentiate between like junior prom and senior prom. It was just everybody just goes.
Sure.
Sure.
And spoiler alert, I'm on the spectrum, which I didn't know until earlier this year. So a lot of this makes more sense to me now. But I always wondered, like, what's the big deal about prom?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I should check it out to see
Yeah.
what the big deal is. But I didn't want to spend a lot of money.
I love that it's kind of like Lisa's the crocodile hunter and be like, all right, let's go see what's going on in this prom thing.
That's basically what it was. A lot of my life is like, what's the big deal? Let's
Oh,
go
that's
check
cool.
it out.
I like it.
So I got my dress, unlike many people, I got my dress at the local Fashion Bug. And I don't know if many people remember those stores, but it was a discount store for
It was like working women, right?
yeah, for working women, and then they had Fashion Bug Plus.
Yeah.
And that was
Mhm.
for
For us
plus.
hefty gals.
Exactly. And I think mine was from Fashion Bug Plus, and it was just a basic black knee-length dress with spaghetti straps, and then it had like this blousey type tie in the front, sheer over thing that
Mhm.
it's yeah, anyway,
Oh,
so I
good.
wore that. It was $30. Like that's how invested I was. And I went with my best friend. She and I went. I don't think we went out to dinner or anything or did anything special. We just showed up
Sure.
and I just observed everything and was like, okay. And that was that evening. And then when I was a senior, I decided to go because I didn't want to graduate and then look back on my life and be someone that regretted not going
Sure.
and feeling like I missed out on some big life event because I felt like that's something
Right.
that I would feel like.
I'm so there with ya.
So myself and 4 other people went, 2 guys and 2 girls, my best friend being one of them. And when I was shopping, I decided to wear the same Fashion Bug dress.
Good.
Just without the blouse over thing, just the black dress part. And I remember I don't know where I found the accessories, maybe Target or Walmart or something, but I was walking through one of the stores and I saw this scarf because those were big at the time to accessorize with, scarves in
Mhm.
1998.
In my opinion, scarves have just always been phenomenal, but that's just me.
Okay,
But no,
but see, and I don't have any fashion sense whatsoever.
neither do
so-
I. I'm saying this is a personal thing, like whether it's in fashion or not. If I ever see you in a scarf, I'm gonna be like, way to go, Lisa.
Well, this was like an accessory, a fashion accessory.
Because it was like sheer, right? It wasn't like a...
Correct. It wasn't like a winter scarf.
Right.
It was like this blue and green and the colors melted together. And I saw it and was thinking, it is so beautifully hideous. I need to get this. And it's going to go so well with this black dress.
I don't see the hideous part of it at all. I was very impressed by it.
Well, the way I look when I saw it, it just caught my eye, and I was like, "This is not something I would normally wear." That's the way my eye and my brain worked. And at the same time, I was shaving my head, and so my hair was growing out, and from my forehead back, my hair stands straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And this picture will be on the social media. And I don't know if you can really tell, but my hair kind of looked like a koosh ball.
Ooh.
And I was describing the color pattern of the scarf at lunch one day, and a girl that used to be really good friends with me just out of nowhere goes, I have tights that are the exact same color as that, and they're tie-dyed. Do you want to borrow them? And I was like, of course I do.
Heck to the yes.
And so I have tights that match this hideous scarf. And then I was like, now I have to find the perfect shoes that will pull this whole outfit together. And they have to be comfortable, because comfort over fashion for me all the time. And I believe I did get these shoes at Walmart. They were slip-on shoes. They were beach shoes.
Mm-hmm.
They were meant to be worn at the beach because the soles were made of foam. They were like 1.5 to 2 inch platform soles.
I know exactly what you're talking
They
about.
looked like sand or like wood or something.
You belonged at Boogie Nights.
Exactly. They were not good looking shoes, but the parts that went over your foot had enough green and blue in them that it really pulled the outfit together.
Yeah. Nice.
And everybody else dressed normally. Like, one friend wore a beautiful red dress. My best friend wore this beautiful white dress. The one guy wore a black tux. The other guy wore like a white dinner jacket over a black dress. Everybody looked great. And I remember walking. We went out to eat. I don't remember if we had a limo. I don't remember. I just remember walking into the high school, and I got the stink eye from so many girls who I could tell spent way more money on their outfits than I did. And I was like, whatever. And the teachers, though, that were there looked at me and just like were giving me like this. Some of them like came up to me and wanted to high five me. And we're just like,
that's awesome.
Lisa, if anybody could pull off this outfit, it would be you. If anybody would show up in an outfit like this, it would be you. And they were just like very happy.
Yeah.
Like I was showing it, I was basically shoving it in the face of.
Yeah.
It was just, and I didn't understand it at the time because I was like, I'm just being me, and this is just how I roll.
Well, I thought it was wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Your description is really giving me like the sensory experience.
Yeah.
I didn't even describe what we wore.
Well, like it's so hard, like to really understand my prom experience and how I am as a person. You've got to see the picture, and you've just got to,
It's awesome.
And I didn't
What do
really
they call
dance.
that? Like a coming of age story? It's like Lisa's blossoming story. I don't know.
That was just, and I wasn't even out of the closet. People just assumed I was a lesbian because I was 18 and I was starting to get tattoos.
And you had short hair.
And I had like,
Right.
I do love that that's the conclusion. Well, she's getting ink done, guys. I think she likes the pussy.
well, that was the conclusion in my high school.
She swims in Pussy Lake.
Well,
Basically, yeah.
I think
Did
it
you
is.
drive a
Wow.
Subaru?
No, not until my later years.
I think it is funny. Like you said, I remember my shoes probably the most out of my outfit. I couldn't even tell you where I rented my tux from. I knew we had to have tails. I liked the silver.
You wore tails?
You're
Oh
damn
my
right I did.
gosh.
But the shoes were like they were like regular dress shoes, but they're kind of like what do you call that when they're the two-tone?
Oh, I know what you're
But
talking
the
about.
middle part was very flexible, and it had like this like woven look to it,
Mm-hmm.
and they were really comfortable. And,
See, I'm surprised you didn't even have like fucking spats. How dressed up you were. Good.
Well,
What the hell are spats?
Okay, like when you look at the Penguin or the Joker, how like their shoes have like the little white part.
yeah.
It's like a little thing that
Okay.
hangs over the shoe, over the laces, basically.
I'm mostly joking, but
But
It actually would have been cool if you had spats.
Becky, I remember because we went traditional dress shopping, and it was a hoot. Like, it was so much fun, and there was a couple dresses that, like, I love Dolly and Elvira, and there was this one dress. If she would have worn it, I'm like, I dare you,
Because it was like a perfect mixture.
It was the perfect, like, here they are kind of dress.
Right.
I'm like, I would love you to wear that, because I love, like, just that kind of feminine in your face kind of look. But
he loves a good bustier.
she went with something a little more demure, and, like, you'll see in our pictures, but, like, she went full gloves and then kind of just a standard,
Elegant.
you know. But yeah, there was, I think, you know, thinking back for us, because people that watch, like, the prom now, they're like, oh, their kids don't dress up like we used to. And I'm like, who could? Like, that was such a time, you know? Even to your extent of your look, I remember those scarves. I remember selling them at Sears. Like, they were a regular women's accessory, right? And
he did air quotes.
I did air quotes there.
Yep.
But I remember those because there was one that I used to wear. We used to do, like, this improv game where we would do fake talk shows. Like this, we would do this at friends' parties. And so I would always wear one around my neck when I was the gay therapist. So I remember that scarf so well, too.
Yeah, that was the style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, that was, yeah, and then at the end of the night, I went home. Like, I just went to go, and I just weirded out as much as possible without really, well, I guess I tried, but on a budget,
Yeah.
because that's how I roll.
Oh, that's good. Awesome. Well, Courtney, can you
Wow.
can you throw some good
Like,
stories our way?
Once again, I bring classy to this,
Oh, yeah.
to this podcast, as always, you know. Well, you know, I remember, I forgot about I went to my junior prom. I went stag.
Oh, okay.
Why did they call it that?
Ooh, we should look that up. Does somebody know? Or
I do, but I want to look it up to, like,
oh yeah,
so I say
okay.
it correctly.
Keep on telling the
Sure.
story, but we'll have an update on Stag in just a bit.
Yeah, I just went with a couple friends. We went out to a restaurant before, and it was funny because I don't think any of us really ever went to a restaurant where you had to, like, tip them at the end. Well, we all forgot to tip the person.
Oh,
So the next day we all
no.
ran back to the restaurant
That's sweet.
to give the waitress a tip.
Hmm.
But I think I too was like Lisa because I had a very plain, like, black dress, but I don't know
Goes
if
with
it was
everything.
Mm-hmm.
right? And I don't know if I don't think it was really to be rebellious, but just to be fun. I wore my dad's old, like, 70s. It looked like something you would have worn to Woodstock. It was like this tan colored jacket that had, like, all of these sewn patches all over it.
Nice.
We used to call it my dad's doobage jacket. I don't think my dad ever smoked pot, let's be clear. But I wore that with my prom dress, and I just thought I was so cool.
You were cool.
You are cool.
It does
Yeah.
sound cool. I'm
It
jealous.
By the way, Courtney,
Yeah?
stag party can be traced all the way back to ancient Greece. While modern parties aren't too far away from Krakow stag weekends, it was in Sparta, where the night before the wedding was the celebration of the man and his military comrades.
Well, that's
So-
exactly what I was doing.
Well,
Celebrating the man. And yeah.
with a bunch of other dudes.
Yeah.
All right.
Funny little side note, Carl and I were at a wedding once, and this old dude said, "Oh, did you two come stag?" And we just kind of giggled and walked away, and I said, "No, we came fag." Just assume we're not together, sir.
Oh my goodness. And then, you know, we did discuss earlier about how wonderfully crazy my life is and how my mom embarrassed me. I went to prom with a married man with 3 children that I didn't know about.
I want to pretend
But-
that you brought the 3 children with you.
This
Yes.
is my family now, everyone.
But, you know, I just have to say thank you, Carl, for bringing up, you know, picking out the outfit and all of that, because I almost forgot this gem of a story. So I had just met this person that I went to prom with, off of the Yahoo, or not, yeah, it was Yahoo's, the chat rooms. This is
Oh,
how
yeah.
we met.
Yeah.
How bad is that?
It's not bad
But-
at all.
I was going to say pretty common for back then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're not supposed to date anybody that you just meet offline. Courtney did.
So did I. It's okay.
Well, and now
Okay.
now that's like how people meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Very
It's just
true.
a weird, yeah.
You were ahead of
Um,
your time.
And I think the fear was that you'd end up dating an older married man, and that's yeah.
I'm sure for some people
Exactly.
that was the appeal.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
But,
think that thought ever crossed my mind when I was getting ready for prom.
Right? So, but on our very first date, I was like joking. I'm like, hey, do you want to take me to prom? And he's like, sure. And I'm like, whoa, whatever. So, me going to prom with him was our third date. The second date was him. He drove me to Superior, Wisconsin,
Oh, God.
to some man's house who in his basement had like a prom / tuxedo / rental thing in the depths of his creepy basement.
Interesting.
So you got hooked up.
Wow.
So we go down into this dungeon, and I'm like, oh God, I barely know this guy. Now I'm in somebody's basement, like getting and there's quotes here, a tuxedo. And,
Yeah.
so the guy's like, oh yeah, I think this is your size, and gives my prom date, the whatever he's like, try this on, and apparently it was the wrong size. And I had never, I'm telling you, I had never really seen a Dugan up close and personal. I know.
This is your second
You'd
date.
think that dicks are just coming at me, but
Second date, you said. You've been
Yeah.
driven a distance to a friend's
Yes.
basement. Okay.
yes. And he leaves us into the basement where my soon-to-be prom date takes off all of his clothes and puts on this tuxedo. Well, in the process, I look over. Well, he still had underwear on, but they were Winnie the Pooh boxer shorts,
Oh, my God.
and he had just the ragingest hard on.
Oh,
And he puts the tux on, but the hard on is still there. And the man comes back down to the basement and is like, ooh, I don't think those are long enough to measure the inseam of his pants.
That's really hard to measure an inseam when you got a boner. Be like, can you get that thing down?
He just make it. But no, it was bam, and that was funny. But yeah, that was, and I also remember the dress I wore was, again, I wore a second black dress to this, and I got there, and the gym teacher was the chaperone, and she was wearing the exact same dress.
Oh, my God.
Mess.
Courtney, do you know what I was wearing under my tux for underwear that night?
Winnie the Pooh?
No, it was not Winnie the Pooh.
What was it?
It was a leopard print G-string.
Ooh. Wow.
So my
Nice.
senior year, I had come out by this point
Okay.
as gay. And the last girl I kind of went on a date with, we were called the Ken and Barbie of our Sears and Racine. And I, had to inform her friend that I was into guys at this point. And she was like, oh, I'm so happy for you and blah, blah, blah. Well, the girls decided to get me a gift for prom. And of course, they went to one of the other high schools. But so I opened this thing up and I'm like, oh my God, they got me a G-string. I'm like,
That's awesome.
Why would you get this for me?
Why wouldn't you?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no kidding.
So I wore that. So whoever got that tux after that, I don't know. They got a story.
Mm.
I also have to say that in one of the pictures that I sent to you guys, even though I went to prom with this one guy, my heart was actually really for the boy that my friend went with in the same picture.
Oh, no.
And they just went as friends. So
Courtney,
but-
did you do like your hair or anything? Did you do makeup or like what'd you do like to get ready?
I went to, I believe, Merle Norman in the mall. And I had a lady somehow do my hair, but I remember it just was like on the edge of a beehive. Like it was really on top. It was high.
Becky and I had gone to a stylist, and I'd never been to a stylist before. And I picked out this whole radical new haircut. And so the one you see for my prom picture, like, was just picked out that week for prom. How crazy is that?
Nice.
that morning we both had things going on. She had a softball doubleheader, and I was taking like a CLEP test for college. And I remember I got home from the test from UW Parkside. I got home and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid that I'm not going to be able to how to figure out this hair. Because I was like, it was a haircut I just got that week.
And listeners, in case you need to know, Carl has not changed his hairstyle since.
Oh.
Not a one time.
It's changed. It's not as beautifully, wonderfully parted
I
and
feel like
swooped
I
and
should
everything.
be seeing these pictures.
Oh, you will.
We don't have them open
Yeah.
yet, but we will.
But
I can't wait.
I remember I'm really, so it's funny because Becky's very feminine. So I just think like, man, you played a double header and then you got all glammed up. Like,
Nice.
She's a real Dottie Henson.
yeah. Well, she did become a future Miss Racine,
Ooh la la.
True that.
and her aunt was Miss Wisconsin 1988. So,
Damn.
you know,
Good.
that side of, glam, so I guess that makes sense. But
Cool. All right. Any more, Courtney? Or
No, I think I've done enough.
okay.
I like how you refer to it as though it's damage.
It really was
how long did you date the guy after?
too damn long.
Yeah.
No, probably like 6 months or so.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I think
Too
is funny
bad.
though? And it's weird.
Yeah.
Being the age I'm at now, the idea of being 27 and having like a teenager like, will you go to prom with me? Being like, sure. Seems kind of odd.
Oh yeah.
But remember when we hung out with like and them, they were like 22, 23. We're like, come hang out with us high school kids. And we're like, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
We snuck them into one of our dances.
Right?
Yeah. At least they dressed nice.
They did.
I totally was expecting some comment though, Courtney. As soon as you said Winnie the Pooh, like you just shouting at him, "Get that out of here, man! This guy is Polish."
Call back.
Right? Because in Poland, Winnie the Pooh,
Unacceptable.
because he doesn't wear pants.
No. Well,
But
and
this tailor that we had, he would have gotten right in there and measured everything.
yeah, he didn't care.
The circumference and everything.
Ooh. Ah.
So tell us, Gary, about
Your prom
Well,
experience.
you know what?
I know you've got a good story.
I do have a good story. So let me tell you. I only went to one prom. So like Ryan said, our prom was just a junior prom. So it was juniors and seniors. And the rule was like underclassmen could go if a junior or senior asked them. But that was the only way they could go. So my story's a little bit of an odd one. I took my sister to prom.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's true.
Now, I like to say it like that, like it's some sort of sitcom thing. Let me give you the full story because it is a little bit more complicated than that. So I wasn't dating my sister. I didn't take my sister because I didn't have a date.
However, we all hung out a lot in the drama club area, and the new like freshmen every year thought they were dating because they were always together. But it's like, well, they live together, they come to school together.
Yeah.
We hang out
Yeah.
in drama club.
they
But-
obviously got married already. They share a last name.
Yeah.
and they did both have the same. Was it Gap or American Eagle T-shirt? And the one day you both wore it, and you were like, "Oh, nice shirt."
I don't. You know
With
what?
a pickup truck on it.
That was an Old Navy one.
Oh, Old Navy,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. No, you're right. We totally did have the same shirt. We wore it on the same days. But yeah, my sister and I were good friends in school, and we were in the same friend group, so we hung out quite a bit. Well, my junior year, my sister was a sophomore. And as I'd mentioned, sophomores couldn't go to the prom, but she and her friend Hannah wanted to go to prom with us. And since they were in our friend group, we wanted them to go too. So I made a deal with my date, and I bought a ticket for me and a ticket for my sister. And then my date bought a ticket for herself and a ticket for Hannah. So when we walked in, I had my sister with me and she had Hannah as her date with her. And then we swapped. So I was with my date. But yeah, I mean, technically I can say for comedy purposes, I took my sister to prom.
I love that.
Yeah. But so
Didn't you even have like the professional pictures done with Jackie?
no. Well, we did
I thought I remember seeing like a picture in your parents' house.
Oh, yeah. So before prom, we took pictures in the house.
Okay.
Absolutely.
like,
we
the
did we all
actual-
got together at my parents' house for pictures and we did the pictures. But when you did like the picture at prom with like they had the arch or whatever and blah blah blah, that I was with my date. I wasn't with my sister. But
Did your guys' proms have themes?
See, I don't remember.
probably did, but I don't remember.
I
mean, I wish it would've been based on a porn movie, quite frankly.
Was it like Moulin Rouge? Because I kind of remember there being windmills, but like we were so not.
yeah.
We didn't really
Back in
care.
that time period for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
We went from
But that might have been the year after that we didn't go to. But I don't remember. But I remember windmills being like a decoration that was all stuffed in the back of the like theater area.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar.
I might not have this right, but because the post prom had a theme, so I think we went from porno to like the enchanted evening.
Oh,
It was
nice.
very like ethereal, like. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I like it.
Wow.
Yeah, porno themed proms. Nothing can
Yeah.
compare to that. But
No.
either way. So it was a nice prom. Ryan and I were there, had a great time. We took a picture
quite
with
the
one of
good
our
group,
teachers.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great group of
Yeah.
people. I want to say Jackie and Hannah, when it came time to get their picture, they did get it together in the arch thing as though they were a date,
Oh,
a
that's
couple,
cute.
right? I don't remember. I think
I
they
have
did.
this memory of. I think it was just a picture we took of Jackie like under the arch by herself, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that wasn't like we didn't have the photographer take that. We
No,
just took it.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So a little blurry on that, but yeah. That's how that was my one and only high school prom. And
So
I
what'd you
say
do
high school
afterwards?
prom. I want to say we went home and made macaroni and cheese.
No.
What did we do?
No. We went to Leah's house and sat in her cottage and ate strawberries
Oh
because
yeah,
they had like a fondue thing.
Yeah, that. Yep.
What
Yep.
did you? What
My
did you
friends
wear?
and I, we went bowling in our like.
I can picture what you
outfits.
wore, but I don't remember the
Oh, it
picture.
was just a tux.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is the tux was the rental place, the same place that we got tuxes for my wedding at.
And what happened?
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened when we did tux fitting for your wedding?
Oh, Ryan was sick and puked in the parking lot.
Sure did.
And then he felt better, and I took him to Grizzlies.
But I still only ate like 4 bites of salad. I was
Yeah.
like,
Did y'all get like corsages and boutonnieres and stuff?
Probably.
I feel like we
know?
did that for almost every dance, which is kind of funny to think about how ridiculous that is.
the
I-
florists don't think so.
So I going on, most of my stories will be prom adjacent. I have other stories of like other dances from high school, and I will say every time I had a date, I definitely had a corsage, whether it was prom or but I got that for them. Whether I can't remember if they got anything for me or not.
I pulled up the picture.
Probably.
Like the picture that I was thinking of where we used to get our flowers from this place called Flower Island. It was very like 70s font. When I honestly think of like the show Three's Company, it's one of those like memories of mine. I don't know why I connect it with Flower Island, but it was an old KFC. It was like one of the original ones. So like
Nice.
really small and like circus tent looking like thing.
Mhm.
And then it was a big city. So you know how like sometimes like the streets cut each other off.
Mhm.
So it literally was an island because there was like it was like a triangle of 3 roads, and
Nice.
there wasn't much parking. Like you had to like, it was weird.
I will say this.
But that's where we got everything.
You're going to be shocked with how glamorous this was, but just because this is what I was told to do by my parents, and I was just learning how to adult and like, how do you order corsage for a date? You know, I didn't know. So all of my dates, all of their corsages were purchased from the floral department at Mega Foods, and they did a swell
Oh,
job.
I bet they would.
Did I tell you that my boyfriend's wife bought my corsage?
You did say that in a previous episode,
Yeah.
but if you want to elaborate on that, go ahead.
Well, no, I just remember there was like, because he traveled from Superior to Rice Lake to take me to prom, and he had like my little corsage in like this little igloo like cooler. And he opens it up and he like goes to take it out of like the little plastic container, and it says his like this woman's name, and I'm like, so who's? And he's like, oh, that's my sister. His sister's name was not. And later
Gotcha.
on, figured it out.
Now,
Mhm.
did he place an order but placed it under his wife's name just to cover things up, or did she actually make it?
No, I think so. I think what he did actually was he made it a sympathy like play. Like, honey, so I know this sounds really crazy, but there's this girl that's probably dying of cancer and needs somebody to take her to prom.
Oh
and
my
I
God.
decided I would do her a favor and I would take this poor ugly soul to prom. And she's like, you know what, honey, I'll go pick up the corsage. Oh, thank you. It's her last dying wish.
Oh,
This is like some Children's Miracle Network kind of thing going
Exactly.
Wow. What a guy. That's
Uh-huh.
awesome. Well, Ryan, do you have any other more stories or any other prom adjacent stories? Or actually, we could even talk about the post high school prom adventures, which there are some.
Yeah. So being in college, we had like a LGBT QSA. It was called Lijbitza for a long time.
Wait, there's more letters added on to the ending now?
Well,
They were trying to be nice to me, so they threw an S in there.
You weren't the only straight person in there, but yeah,
No, I know.
It had been that way for a long time, but now, yes, there's even more now. I mean,
But
Oh my gosh.
mhm.
early on, the group was called Lijbitza because it was all the letters, and like when you tried to type that, the computer would say lobster. So we had like a little stuffed lobster that was our little mascot. But eventually, we just called it Spectrum because it was more. It's just a rainbow. It's everybody.
I really loved the name
Oh.
Spectrum. I did.
Well,
well, either way.
But at this point, we were well established. I mean, we were doing National Coming Out Day. We did World AIDS Day.
That's right. That's right. Fireball audiences. The queer people did stuff before the current people
yeah.
who worked at the university.
That's true. We did panel discussions with classrooms, and we did like a mini film festival from now and again.
Yep.
We did short films. But I mean, there's so many more things now that we would have done it all. I mean,
yeah.
But we did. We would put on every year. We'd put on alternative prom.
Mm-hmm.
in the
Which-
spring, yeah.
In a weird way, was like for us, but it was really for younger kids who didn't have a place to go to be like
Yeah.
completely out for prom. Even though not a ton of high school kids came, but we did have some.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it was a really good time. We always was fun to dress up as
Mhm.
you kind of got to like redo your prom as an adult and be like, and we can be super queer here. It's a big old alternative prom.
That's
Um,
cool.
But it was fun.
It was
We
a
would-
lot of fun.
I think it was cool because I think you're right in the sense it was a party for us in a lot of ways because
It's kind
we
of
could-
our end of the year of having done so many things as a group too. It
we
was like-
could do like the decorations we wanted. We could do the costumes we wanted. And like even the one year when grandma made us those.
Yeah, my grandma, we kind of wanted to dress up sort of, it's hard to explain, as the Joker, but not like the Joker. But like, we got this plaid material and had her make us vests. And then these floral, like the frilly, it's called a jabot, like the frilly neck
Wow.
thing. So,
It was really cute.
It was.
But the fact that
Glorious.
grandma was excited about it, like
yeah.
it was-
I love
it
your
was really neat.
support.
and now that event still goes on in Chippewa Valley,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
And you guys started this?
well,
Well,
I mean,
I don't think the one that's on
it's
now is
not-
necessarily because of us, but it's like,
Oh.
when we weren't there anymore, I think they passed it on.
Yeah. And Ryan used to work for the organization that hosts one of the youth groups that still is organizing it.
Oh.
And
I'd
it's
still
it's
take
pretty
credit
neat.
for it. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, what I think is cool about it is I think it's inspired because now they do like closet and clothing giveaway leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, they do.
which is really cool because I think it mirrors exactly what the school system's doing around us too. A lot of places used to sell like discount used dresses and stuff. Or you could go in and shop and get like an allowance for things. So I think it's just neat to see it's full circle that everyone's included. Like it's really
Yeah.
inclusive now. And, in a world where we have more spaces and more visibility than ever, I still think it's important. I think that safe space for identity and being who you are is really neat.
Definitely.
I know I put way more effort into alternative prom than I ever did for any of my regular
So
prom.
what did you
right.
wear? I'm just curious, Lisa. What did you wear for this one then?
I went to alternative prom twice.
And it's so funny because we were also the leaders of the organization too.
Right.
So we functionally had to do things.
Yep. So I was shaving my head completely at that time because I just was done with dealing with hair.
Yeah.
And I rented a tux and I
She
had
looked so good.
Oh my gosh.
I
yes.
wanted to wear my orange Chuck Taylors. And they had, I was looking Well, I had an assortment of Chuck Taylors, so in different colors. But when I was looking through their ties at the tux rental place, I was like, I need the ugliest color that I can find. And the lady just kind of looks at me, and I'm like, you don't understand. It's just a thing with me. And it was this orange color. And I'm like, this will go so perfect with my orange Chucks.
Nice.
And I got the pocket square to match. And I was set. I was so thrilled. And my best friend at the time bought this gorgeous dress. And I know that she and I went to the local grocery store to pick up the veggie tray. And we were decked out in our the guy. Sorry, it's still
No. It's good.
So ridiculous to me. We go and we pick up the veggie tray, and the guy behind the deli counter, he's like a high school kid, and he just kind of looks at us, and he's like, "Congratulations." And I was just like. She and I looked at each other because all the way to throughout high school, people had been like, we were so close. We always hung out. It was like, what did you guys do this weekend? Oh, we hung out with her. Oh, we hung out with each other all the time, to the point where sometimes we would wear the same outfit, like matching outfits coincidentally. And people would be like, they're dating. They have to be dating. You know?
It's only true if you're siblings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was hilarious to us.
Did this kid think like you just got married or something?
Yes. Yeah.
So like,
And pick up your own veggie tray.
Exactly. I guess. Like, apparently queer people pick up their own veggie trays for their weddings or something.
I like it.
Like,
I say we
it's
make
only
that a
straight
tradition.
people that have it catered.
In some states, it's probably true because
That's
those
true.
fuckers
That's
won't
true.
do it for them.
Okay.
yeah, if this is what you want to see, this is what's going to happen.
And I remember showing up and going down to the church basement because it was at the Unitarian
yep.
Universalist
Yep.
Church. And Ryan came around the corner and you would cut your hair. And that was like, you cut your hair. And yeah, that was your big reveal that you had cut your hair short.
And funny story that day as well, I found a dead mouse in my basement. I just remember that all happened on the same day. So it's just like,
But it was, yeah, it was
You weren't the only one that had a
time.
surprise in the basement for prom.
And I remember the second alternative prom that I went to, the person I was seeing, I wore a dress, but again, I didn't spend a lot of money or anything. I think I bought it at like a Kohl's or something. Like, I'm a big spender, people.
Right.
I like it.
Um,
Did you even use your Kohl's cash?
no.
Oh, that
And-
really would have topped it
I was
off.
just thinking of other uses for your Kohl's card.
Oh my god, memories.
Okay.
Well, do tell.
I was at one night and some woman like randomly comes up to me when I'm sitting with everybody at in a booth, and she's like, "Are you single?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You want to go to the bathroom and make out?" And I'm like, "Okay." And so we do, and then she's just like, she takes out cocaine and starts using her Kohl's card to cut it into lines, and then uses like a $5 bill to start to snort it. And she's like, "Do you want any of this?" And I'm like, "No, thank you.
I just
you know,
came to make out.
Go ahead. I'm just here for the sex and the making out." And then we proceeded to get it on. And anyway,
But then do you remember you came back and you were telling us about it and you were like, oh my God, do you think it's like there's some in my system because I kissed her?
because my mouth was numb because she had
Oh.
after she had rubbed it on her
Yeah,
gums
yeah.
because she's like, and I was just like, my mouth is numb.
We're like, don't worry. If the cops come, we'll make sure they don't
It was
talk to you.
just- It was so dumb.
Okay.
Exactly, because she was going to buy me a drink afterwards, and I was so upset that she didn't buy me a Diet Coke. So somebody
yeah,
else
that's
bought me a
rude.
Diet
Oh,
Coke.
that's the way to Lisa's heart.
I would have bought
Yeah.
you a Diet Coke.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You ask the bartender, can you get one that isn't in the fridge yet? Because Lisa likes it room temperature. I'm sure they could do that for you.
Hell.
Okay, so plain dress.
Yeah. Anyway, regular dress that was oddly enough, it had green in it. And I went with somebody who was deciding to go as their true self. They were dressing as a woman. They looked amazing. Their makeup was beautiful. Actually, my best friend had a picture of us, she and I together, my date and I. And she put that up in her cubicle at work. And one of her coworkers was like, wow, Lisa's girlfriend is really pretty. And yeah, so it was a good time.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is a good time. Yeah, I don't know if I went to the second one.
I just remember
I was at the first one. I was at the first one, and I remember you there, and I remember you guys, and that
I don't think you did go to the second one, but I don't remember.
I don't remember why either.
Had you already moved at that time?
No, I may have been doing something with Amanda though, because we were dating by that time. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe no, I don't know. Either way, but did go to the first one,
Yeah.
and that was a hoot.
Yeah.
Hoot.
Yeah.
I remember I felt really bad because one of the like high school senior kids that I don't remember we went to schools to tell them to come. I don't remember how we got
Yeah,
the word
I think
out.
we did. I think we went to some of the groups.
But this kid came and like I clearly didn't say anything like, "Hey, come and be my date," but they showed up and like followed me around all night, and I felt horrible. This poor little 18-year-old thinks that like if I follow him around, maybe he'll date me. Like, honey, I'm way busy.
That's not how it works.
I got this one, and I'm like 24.
Yeah.
Been following you around, Carl, for all these
But
years.
we did hang out a couple of times. And
No, you still follow
he
me
was
around.
really cool.
Okay.
I don't know whatever happened to him though.
Yeah.
I don't remember what their name was.
I'd say it's tough, and like you, Courtney, obviously talking about dating someone older for prom. I suppose in this era of especially for us as just queer individuals, it was always tough, like finding someone your age because very limited pool.
Mm-hmm.
So chances are there could be some age like gaps, but I don't know. I think that's what was great about the alternative prom, because it really was a party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and people could be as formal as or informal as they wanted to be, and I think that was really neat.
Yeah, well said.
Do you
Hear,
guys
hear.
remember like any specific songs that you danced to the night of your prom?
So that during the motorcade,
Yeah.
we put Cisco's "The Thong Song" on
Perfect for you.
loop. Oh my gosh!
Nice.
But no, because my year was totally like it was like the Ricky Martin, Jennifer Lopez, like that era.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
So
I don't even remember what was big when Ryan and I were. But anyway, do you have any more prom stories? Here's something I wanted to bring up, prom adjacent, but and this even blends into prom. I want to talk about some of the food aspect, and we already brought up some of the people, like what they did. But one of my favorite memories, I want to say it was a homecoming, but we went to McDonald's.
We did that a lot of times.
Yeah,
But that first year, because like people always go to somewhere quote unquote fancy, even though it really wasn't. But for high school kids, it's like anywhere you sit down is fancy.
yeah. But and like we all got Happy Meals and sat like in the
Kid area, yeah.
But it was so much fun. It was just a blast.
Because it was more like we don't have to spend the extra money or do the extra whatever to have like an extra fun time. We're like,
Yeah.
let's get
Right.
let's get Happy Meals.
some ways
and
it's kind of good. You don't.
Gary had this iridescent shirt that was red and green.
Yeah,
And like the light would hit it. Oh, it was so cool.
it was cool.
green.
Yeah. No.
all of you in green.
Yeah. I actually had like a pair of boxers that kind of matched. You remember the
Ooh.
iridescent red ones? Those went to quite a few dances.
I
yeah.
like that your friends remember your underwear.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
When you got underwear that cool, you show people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know that people fully grasp how our group of friends, like the main like 6 of us, were like in each other's lives in like every aspect.
We were very close and we shared a lot.
So like, yes, I saw Gary's underwear many times.
Well, you were over at my house all the time, so like,
Yeah, Gary didn't just randomly go, "Hey Ryan, look."
no.
But not
like,
that we wouldn't do shit like
no,
that.
right. But like when we were younger growing up, Ryan, my house was his second home.
Yeah.
And so like, would I like change pants or something in front of him? Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah.
Actually, come to think of it, I think just last month, Ryan showed me a picture of him in his new underwear.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
because
right.
I had like the Flash ones and stuff.
But
Oh, I thought these were like more pink or yellow or something.
Well, I did. I bought like because I decided I
cute.
wanted some more sexy undies, so I bought like
Yeah.
a whole bunch, and I was showing them off because I was like, look at these.
But if you
Mhm.
guys want to throw it any other places,
In Racine, we used to go for dances. We used to go to the Chancery a lot. It was like
Mhm.
this really high-end pub. But,
Okay.
probably a little less like noisy than Applebee's. A little bit more. But it was on the lake, so it was really cool.
Mm.
I think we did Pizza Hut once, though. I
Nice.
think that was just because everyone was kind of like, meh. And Pizza Hut's kind of funny in Racine because there's pizza places everywhere that are just like family owned. But I think it was just like how we wanted to do that evening. It just made sense to go to Pizza Hut, like
Mhm.
logistically. But
You know, when I was little, like super little, one of my earliest memories really was just dreaming about prom and being old enough to do this based off of the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Now, I don't know if it was prom in the beginning where they're all dancing and then the floor separates and then there's a pool. You guys know what I'm talking
I do.
about?
I do.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And that was like my biggest fantasy. I'm like, there's going to be a pool with this floor that separates. People are going to be dancing. Do I know how to swim? I didn't know if like pools were customary to have under these dance floors. But I just thought that was so flippin' cool.
I can tell you the friends that I went with are a lot of the friends that I'm still friends with. And it's a lot of fun to go to their weddings and like have
Dance
gone to
above the
weddings
pool.
with them. And dance with them, and like it's just fun to get dressed up with the same people. Like it's fun to
No,
kind of
it's-
recreate the youthness of it.
It's true though, because we all went to our friend Hannah's wedding
yeah,
Mhm.
pretty recently, and like I mean,
Same Hannah that was
our-
at the prom.
right?
Yeah.
Our core group, of course, was like no time had passed, but like some of our like periphery friends from that era were there, and it was like no time had passed with those people either, and it's like we
Yeah.
don't really talk to them as much. It was like,
Yeah.
oh,
but you did have the freedom. We went and danced to songs you probably wouldn't have danced to in like high school, and like for us, like Ryan and I, you're damn right, we're going out there for the couple dance, you know. And we laugh
Mhm.
because
well, especially now because we've been together longer than most of the couples that are like,
yeah. So it's usually the old couples that are out there, at the end, and we're like second to last of the groups. But
for like when you gradually sit down with
Yeah.
every year that
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
together.
yeah,
Yeah, that actually, I almost shit my pants because like they're getting up to like the high teens, and Amanda and I are still out there, and I'm like, oh Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, we're old. When did this happen?
yeah. Well, that was fun to be there
It was.
with you, and I don't know, that was a fun night.
Mm-hmm.
It was also fun that we were almost late to the reception because we were told.
We were bar hopping.
Well, we were told like, oh, the wedding ends here, and then the reception starts at this time, and it was really like an hour before that. So we're sitting like eating munchies at this pub, and someone's like, "Where are you guys?" Like, we're supposed to be there. Well,
Yeah.
shit.
Courtney, you don't know this, but I used to be accused of having a good time when I was younger.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was a big partier.
Ooh.
But
He wore sunglasses to school sometimes because he had to cover up his hangover eyes.
Well.
I did not have one drop of alcohol the night of my prom. I don't even know.
either.
Like, I don't even know. Like, it never happened. It never occurred. And I know all these people were like, oh, we're going to sneak in flasks and we're going to do all this stuff. And I was just like, I was kind of caught up in the rest of it. The other stuff didn't matter. I think that's why the M&Ms in the morning remind me so much of, like, it just felt so, like, safe,
Mm.
you know?
Sure.
Like, I wasn't making a poor decision that night.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Any other fun?
Wasn't like you got out your Kohl's card.
Yeah, no kidding.
No.
He did, but only to buy more pants.
Oh gosh.
Oh golly!
Well, any more food stuff or any more prom stories?
Wait, you guys had food at your prom?
No.
Or no?
We're talking about like going out
Okay.
to dinner. And I know that what's his nuts got fish, but if you want to tell that story, go right ahead.
No, it just disgusts me.
Fair enough.
His breath smelled like pussy lake.
I do have one more dance adjacent story, and you guys are gonna get a kick out of this. We got full permission to disclose this story. So when I was younger, I was there was a girl that we never dated, but we were certainly how I don't know a good word to say. Either way,
Flirty.
we were flirty. We would call each other on the phone and talk, and it was just a really fun time for me. And she gave me this one picture of her, and I want to say it was like her homecoming, or either way, she was at some sort of dance, and she looked great. It was just an awesome picture of her. But in this picture, she was also with her older sister, and she would constantly tell me about how cool her sister was. And so I put this picture, and I had it like up in my bedroom. So when we were talking on the phone, I'd look at it, and didn't think much about it. But then, years passed, time passed, and I remember in college once I was having a conversation with my friend Lisa, the same Lisa that's on this podcast, right? And I figure out, oh shit, Lisa is the older sister of this girl that I was flirty with. And then I realized, oh shit, Lisa was the girl that was in the picture above my bed.
Not like on the ceiling.
No. It was
on
like
the wall.
It was on the wall, just above like my bedpost. And again, it was just a flirty relationship. Nothing dirty happened.
Not that I would care if it did.
Well, I had to. Amanda was like grossed out, and I had to clarify. No, I never touched myself while looking at this picture. But yeah, here. Well, I knew Lisa years before I really knew Lisa. And it was just funny, that whole connection.
And another weird connection, they share a cousin,
Yeah.
but are not cousins themselves.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so funny that you just said that, because I just came across a picture of your cousin, that cousin.
Which one? Oh yeah. What'd you see?
When
you
him
guys-
and I going to a Blink 182 concert that Nancy
Nice.
set us up on as like a date, and we're like, "Oh, your Aunt Nancy set us up. Oh, my Aunt Nancy. Wait, our Aunt Nancy." And then it got a little awkward. And
I have a
to be
picture.
honest, we weren't even compatible to begin with.
I have a picture of him too.
No, he would want to run track and field him. You had your period way too early for that shit.
Right?
I have a picture of that cousin as well.
They like, "Oh, how did it go? How'd the concert go?" And I'm like, "You mean with my kind of cousin Kyle?" And that's what they all referred to him as then, was Courtney's kind of cousin.
I love that.
I was trying to think.
He's a good dude.
I didn't have a friend, the girlfriend that I flirted with, but we were like always talked on the phone together.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I don't remember if she went to prom, because she totally ended up dating and marrying an online guy. I remember she was driving up to meet him, and she's like, "Carl, I'm driving up north. I want you to know where I'm going, just in case I disappear."
That is good thinking.
But then she ended up getting married to him.
All right, we're back. And you know what, guys? I would like to share with you the pet of the week. So this week's pet of the week, I am proud to announce, is a cute little kitty named Chrisany.
She's a pretty, pretty princess.
She is a pretty, pretty princess. So please, please, please go out and look for Chrisany on our socials. And you know what? If you think she's cute too, leave a comment, share, all of the above. Yeehaw. All right. Now, who is ready?
Now make sure you yeehaw, because that's the most important
That's
part.
true.
Oh, of course. Plenty of
Share
yeehaws.
your own pet.
Yeah, don't forget to yeehaw about your own pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, please keep on sending us those pet of the weeks too, because I'm telling you, the fans are loving it, and
We are loving it.
we're loving it.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
McDonald's
Ooh,
is loving it.
Don't let them sue us.
That's true.
All right, how about we biscuit basket this bitch? Huh?
Yeah.
We are gonna
go
do
in a different order, because I always have to go first.
Okay, we are gonna do the biscuit basket, and to tell you what, guys, I'm gonna start. Normally I'm last, but I'm just so goddamn excited for this. My buttered biscuit is a literal biscuit. So we decided that when we start doing our live events, we wanted to have the Wicker Biscuit at the events. And then we were talking about it, and I'm like, well, if I bake a biscuit every time, number one, it's not always going to look the same. Number two, it'll get gross. Number three, if there's like a person's dog at the thing and they jump up and try to eat it, that would be weird. So we went looking, and I found a place that makes like prop food on Etsy. And I ordered this thinking, okay, I hope it looks good, but oh my God, it blew me away. I got, it looks so real. And yeah, so I encourage you all, if you want to find out what this looks like, Well, first of all, I'm going to put it on the social media, but if you want to see it in person,
I think you need to do a side-by-side of the original biscuit.
Well, the original biscuit was eaten by Ruggles.
The picture
Oh,
of
yes,
the
yes, the
original
picture.
biscuit. And then this biscuit.
No, it's
Because
amazing.
it's very, very,
I wanna-
And I just want to assure our listeners that the original, picture for Wicker Biscuit is an indeed biscuit.
Oh, yeah.
baked
Yeah. It was a biscuit that we baked. We shot so many pictures.
How many, Courtney?
More pictures of that damn biscuit than Ryan's had sex with.
No, it was we've taken as many pictures of this biscuit as Ryan has sex partners.
Thousands. No, I'm kidding.
You
I'm
know,
kidding.
Just to be clear.
You couldn't bake a biscuit for all of those, then you're right.
Just to be clear, we didn't just sit and take that many pictures. We would take 10 and then come back and look
Yep.
at all of them and then go ooh, this one's perfect.
Right.
Except this. Okay, let's go back and do a couple more and
And
we'll
we
just
slightly
fix this.
changed the angle for each
Yep,
one
yep.
and then compared them. So, I mean, if
And I wish you guys could have only seen the way we staged this biscuit on an old cardboard box.
Yes.
A napkin, and I'm holding this other
And I had-
napkin,
and
a matador.
Literally held a lamp the way
Yes, without the lampshade.
It's been really tough for my ADHD nut because it's sitting closest to me in recording tonight, and I seriously want to just touch and play with it.
Yeah.
I can't.
you can't
It's
anyway because your
beautiful.
dirty old hands will ruin
Slap
it.
your hands.
But yeah, we're gonna keep it in the studio, so it's actually gonna be the little centerpiece every time we record,
Don't
I
take
like
it
it.
away from me.
and it's just a thing of beauty. And I encourage all of you. We're gonna be giving out some solid dates soon, but we plan on having some events this summer, so you guys can come out and meet us.
You could take
Come
a
on.
picture with the biscuit.
You could, yeah.
Yes.
Oh God, yes. Yes.
And we're gonna sell all this jelly that we haven't even made yet.
Yeah. I got a freezer
It'll
full of.
go really well with biscuits.
Yes. No lie. The jelly is amazing
Yes.
on biscuits. But that's my buttered biscuit. So why don't we go counterclockwise to... We normally go clockwise. Not that the audience can see this. Ooh, a little peek behind the curtain, everyone. That would put Courtney next.
Well, I have a buttered biscuit. It's something that I just recently started doing this week. And I just realized how much in love I am with this new thing that I've started doing. So when one gets a different vehicle, you get a free subscription to SiriusXM.
Okay.
And I'm currently still on the free, yeah. And one of the stations, which I didn't realize was a station right away, it's just 40s. So it's
Nice.
music
Oh, that's
coming
fun.
from the 40s.
1940s?
I love it.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 1840s
I did
had some
not
jams.
know.
Let's just get that out there.
Yeah.
Do you get flagged out by the men before you turn on the radio? Is that
After I've had the station approved by my husband. Yes.
That's another flag. They have to yep,
Right?
that's the station you can play.
Right. That's why there were so many flags going on. It was one to approve the station, one to approve, yes, and one to signal that there was nothing behind me when I was backing up. But anyway,
Except
so the
that ass.
station- What?
Except that ass.
That ass? Oh, you know that ass. But I'm just loving the station. I love how the names of some of these songs. And today I actually spent a little bit of time to look up what some of these songs meant. But one song was called "May I Play with Your Poodle?"
Oh, we're talking dirty 40s.
Oh my gosh, there's so
Well,
many
at
good
first
ones.
I'm like, in the 40s, was that no, it can't be about sex. But then when I was looking at the lyrics, it said something like, "May I put my face down on your poodle?" And I'm like, what? I'm like, they were doing that in the 40s? And anyways, apparently,
have you heard "And Her Tears Flowed Like Wine"?
no.
It's one of my favorite songs from the 40s.
I'll have some stuff to play
Really?
for you because I really got into the dirty side of the 40s, the rhythm and blues that was
The blue music.
yeah, where
Oh.
it wasn't mainstream and it was the underground stuff. Oh, I'll have to bring you down that road.
We'll
It's,
have to
it's,
do-
it's
You're
a
going to have
hoot.
to listen to "May I Play with Your Poodle?"
We'll have to
Mhm.
do
Because-
some.
I do want to hear
We
that.
could do a session on this. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And another song that I had to research today was called "A Huggin' and a Chalkin'." And I'm like,
I think
what
I've
is
heard that one before.
chalkin'? Oh, you've heard the song?
Yeah.
So basically, it's about this man who has a 303-pound woman that he loves, and he can't wrap his arms around her. But if he marks her like with chalk, he gets like an idea of where her waist begins and ends. So basically, he's measuring her girth. And I'm thinking, wow, 40s. Like, not only have I listened to May I Play With Your Poodle, which is like 1940s WAP, but now I've got a hugging and a chalking.
Where would you put your chalk on prom night?
Well,
Knowing
One
Courtney
never
would go in her
knows.
bra.
Yeah, I mean, just
but what I
Right
love,
next to the
like,
Tums.
is not only am I appreciating this 40s music because of like it's just it is some kind of bullshit, I would say. But I've caught myself because I have very bad hearing, for those that aren't aware. So I know that I listen to my radio exceptionally loud. And it's been nice in Wisconsin. The windows have been down.
yeah.
And I'm jamming out to Huggin' and a Chalkin'. And I've started the 1940s little like dance where they just have one finger in the air and they do like this.
Gary and I call that the B. Arthur.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Because,
of course,
well,
when they
she
do
do-
their dance competition.
Right. And like she didn't invent it, but that's
Yeah.
what we always associate it
Yep,
with.
yep,
She's like,
absolutely.
And maybe
play
that's
something
where I
with
got
a
it
little
from.
octane.
Yeah, the octane, the
Right?
B. Arthur octane dance. That's indeed what it is.
So I have notoriously been doing this in my car. And I can only imagine passerbyers. And I love it.
I get it
Hugging
though,
and Chuck.
because I've been listening to Cha Cha Heels by Eartha Kitt, and I can't help but do Catwoman claws while I sing.
See, love it. So that's my biscuit.
I love it.
My biscuit is just I have a butter biscuit. I got over my hellish cold, so I'm in studio. Yeah, and I was able to actually get outside today and enjoy the weather with my headphones in,
Oh, that's
clean
nice.
out the flower gardens,
Nice.
and it was just nice.
No.
What
Sounds
about you,
pretty
Carl?
nice.
Mine is buttered, but a little less butter this week because of it. But I got to donate blood for the first time ever recently, which was
Wow.
really a
Nice.
cool experience.
Good for you.
For those that don't realize, like relatively in the last how many ever years,
Mhm.
the US FDA policies have changed, and
Become a lot less homophobic.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was struck by like the questions were very like safer sex and safer health, and just in general just really good questions that everyone should, like everyone should be comfortable with these questions and knowing your own health profile. It didn't have like the dehumanizing like, have you had sex with a gay man since 1977? Like that doesn't exist anymore. Like,
Nice.
and so it was really cool. And I'm just glad I got to do it. Like,
So, if you don't mind me asking, I have never donated blood because I've always figured that I couldn't because of medications, things like that I'm on.
So,
Is there regulations with
go on the American Red Cross site. You can actually do the survey questions, and then it
Mhm.
has all the medications you can and cannot take. So, and then the
Interesting.
day of it, they'll give you a hemoglobin test. So they'll
Mhm.
see if all your numbers are kind of in that zone. Plus, they check your blood pressure, so they'll make sure you're safe. And then,
Okay.
it's
That's
just
really
like
good to know.
any healthcare situation, always advocate for yourself. Like it's, we talk about consent in other ways, but like when someone's putting a needle in you, like be responsive and say if that hurts right away. Don't be with the whole experience because you'll feel better. I have to lay down. Like I have to lay down when I get my blood taken. So
I'm the same way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did lay down all the way. But it takes under 10 minutes to get a pint, and that pint can help up to 3 people. It's pretty
That's
phenomenal.
amazing.
So it was a really good experience. So like I said, it's not everyone can do it. I just was in the right spot, at the right time that I could, and I'm glad I got the opportunity.
Good
So,
for you.
yeah.
Seriously, that's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that,
Mhm.
Carl.
You're cute.
Aw.
Mine is a buttered biscuit, and if anyone knows me, you know how much I prefer physical media over digital media.
Absolutely.
And me and Gary, well, and Carl, but Gary and I kind of really got into them together. But there's a Swedish group called Army of Lovers that came out in the 90s, and I discovered them through Beavis and Butthead in 5th grade. And in those days, I could never find their albums because I would look at CD stores because we didn't have the internet to go, I wonder if I can find it online.
Right.
So was it like senior year? I was like, oh my God, I'm going to look on eBay.
Yep.
Right. So been a fan of them forever. Well, every like 10-ish years or so, they get together and they're like, we're back together. And they release a new album. And I was worried with this latest album that it was only going to be digital because it came out like 2 months ago. And that's all it's been so far. And it's like, of course, I bought it digitally, but I would rather have a CD or an LP, but preferably a CD if I can only have one of those. Well, today the pre-order went on for the physical. Now, this is the best part. You could get a 2 LP set, a 2 CD set, or you could get it on cassette.
Really?
Wow.
Or you get the bundle and get all of them. And I'm like, well, I'm going to order the CD now. And then if I feel the need later, maybe I'll get the cassette and the LP, but I don't know.
So that's for you if you only have cartridge in the Volvo.
That's right. So yes. So Army of Lovers' latest album, Sexodus,
Nice.
which they have a song called Love is Blue, and it's not specifically about Ukraine, but they teamed up with a Ukrainian singer who kind of has become very popular, and she kind of likes that the lyrics sound kind of like in support of Ukraine. So
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But they're very campy, fun.
Oh,
goofy group. And like,
But there's genuine talent there. They're
there
amazing.
is, but they so underplay it because like they never sing live because they all claim like we're not musicians, we can't sing. But like within the group, they're not really themselves. Like they use their real names, but like in the group, they're like these exaggerated versions of pop stars. So they do all this. So every time like the group gets together, like in 2013, they got together the original lineup, which was Jean-Pierre Barda, Alexander Bard, and La Camilla, who my drag name is taken from. And within like, I'm not kidding you, within a month, they're like, well, we kicked La Camilla out of the band again. And it was like, you have to start to think, is this fake? Like, is this part of the performance art of like, oh, can't handle her anymore again?
Their documentary or like music collection video is called The Grand
Docu-Soap.
So
They all argue
so
and they
funny.
all claim that they sing all the vocals and they write all the lyrics. It's very silly. But so that's my buttered biscuit, is that I'm going to have the actual physical CD to go with my other Army of Lovers albums.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. On that note, I think we have wrapped up this beautiful prom episode. What say you guys?
I'm off like a prom dress.
Oh, that's a great way to end
I was
it.
going to say, let's end this like a dumpster baby at prom.
Oh,
it went dark.
that went dark.
So Courtney's face like
Wow.
Let's leave that in the toilet.
I told you I had like this pre-Ivy League thing going on, and then we went there, huh?
We went there.
Well, I'm going to say we're off like a prom dress. And on that note, could you all say goodnight to the audience?
Good night, audience.
good night, audience.
All right. We hope we didn't traumatize you guys too much.
We will
but...
save a last dance for you, don't worry.
Aw.
Aw.
All right. Thanks for listening. Catch you later.
Thank you for listening to Wicker Biscuit, a Podcast Ahoy production. The producers of Wicker Biscuit are Courtney Holub, Ryan LeMay, and Gary Putnam. Assistant producers are Amanda Putnam and Lisa Rudd. Recording and editing is done by Gary Putnam, with Lisa Rudd as the assistant editor. Executive producer of Wicker Biscuit is Gary Putnam. Check out our social media for updates on upcoming pods and for clips and other media referenced in this episode. Links and information can be found in the episode notes. Thanks again from everyone at the Wicker Biscuit family.